What if I told you one of America's greatest military minds was also one of its most controversial figures? Meet Robert E. Lee. Born in the year 1807, Lee was the progeny of a distinguished Virginian family, a lineage that set the stage for what was to come. At a young age, Lee's potential was recognized, and his journey led him to the prestigious halls of West Point Military Academy. Yet this wasn't just another step in his life. It was here that Lee truly began to shine. His keen intellect, unwavering dedication, and natural leadership skills did not go unnoticed. Rising above hundreds, Lee graduated second in his class, a testament to his exceptional performance. From his early days, Robert E. Lee was destined for greatness. But no one could have predicted the tumultuous path his life would take. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's delve deeper into the enigmatic life of this legendary general. As Lee's star rose in the military, so too did the tensions in a country on the brink of civil war. In the early part of his military career, Lee proved himself to be an exceptional soldier and a natural leader. His service in the Mexican-American War was marked by a series of commendable performances, where he showcased his strategic brilliance and military prowess. These triumphs propelled him to the forefront of the Army's officer corps. His reputation for discipline, dedication, and tactical genius was well-earned and widely recognized. Following his successes on the battlefield, Lee was appointed as the Superintendent of West Point, the United States Military Academy. This prestigious position allowed him to shape the minds of the next generation of military leaders. His influence was profound, and under his stewardship, West Point flourished. Yet, as Lee's star was rising, the country he served was descending into chaos. The United States, a nation he held dear, was teetering on the edge of a civil war. The impending conflict presented a dilemma for Lee, a quandary that would test his loyalty and convictions. Lee was a Virginian by birth and by heart. His love for his home state was deep-seated, a sentiment shared by many of his contemporaries. When Virginia declared its secession from the Union, Lee was torn. His loyalty to the United States, the country he had served with distinction, was at odds with his devotion to his native Virginia. After much soul-searching, Lee made the heart-wrenching decision to resign from the U.S. Army. His resignation letter is a testament to the turmoil he felt, a poignant document that laid bare his internal struggle. Lee chose to side with Virginia, joining the Confederate Army and turning his back on the Union he had served. In a twist of fate, Robert E. Lee found himself leading the Army against the very country he had served so loyally. Despite the controversy surrounding his decision, there's no denying Lee's military genius. In the Civil War, Robert E. Lee emerged as a commander with an uncanny knack for strategies. His ability to read the battlefield was unparalleled, and his tactical acumen led the Confederate Army to several stunning victories. Among these, the Battle of Chancellorsville stands out as a testament to Lee's brilliance. In this battle, Lee was vastly outnumbered, facing an army nearly twice the size of his own. Yet he managed to split his forces, a move considered risky by many, and achieved a resounding victory, stunning his Union counterparts. This battle is still studied in military academies today, often hailed as Lee's masterpiece. However, despite his military genius, Lee's story is not one of unbroken victories. He eventually surrendered at Appomattox Court House, marking the end of the Confederacy. It was here, in the face of defeat, that another side of Lee emerged. He urged his men to return to their homes and become productive citizens, showing a deep concern for the future of the nation. Following the war, Lee became the president of Washington College, now known as Washington and Lee University. He worked tirelessly to provide education for the young men of the South, hoping to aid in the reconciliation of a divided nation. Yet Robert E. Lee remains a figure of contention. To some, he is a symbol of military brilliance and personal integrity, a man who stood by his principles. To others, he is a traitor, a man who fought against his own country for the cause of slavery. The legacy of Robert E. Lee is complex and full of contradictions, much like the man himself. And while his actions during the Civil War are controversial, they have indelibly shaped the course of American history. Robert E. Lee, a military genius, a man of principle, or a traitor, his legacy continues to be debated, but his place in American history is undeniable.